All right, guys, we're up against Western Sydney today in this home match, and we have one win, which is good. That means that we can win. We're not as bad as Guangzhou. We'll finish at least not in 24th place, which is a good thing. We're up here against Western Sydney, who are much higher than we are in the league, but they're higher up mostly because there are a lot of teams just sort of scrunched up there near the top. I don't think that's a insurmountable lead. In fact, I think that we can do well, and we can probably get up to that point with a little bit of luck this season. We have a couple more new players on this team, and I'm getting to the point where I can't even tell who was on this team before. It goes all the way back to Nathan, you remember him, over to Pafundi, over to Alexa now. And Alexa plays with it, then hits it back to Nathan. Nathan with his ball back over to Pafundi again. So they have a little bit of a partnership. Over to Alexa again, and over to Pronk. Pronk is taken away from him, and I guess he lost that out of bounds. I'm not quite sure exactly how that one worked. It was kind of a odd way of representing whatever that was supposed to be, and they have a free kick. We have headed that out, but not quite out far enough. There's the shot, and we're very, very fortunate that that one was not a goal. And so it's still 0-0 here in the very beginning. Pass over to Iseong, down to Luengo, over to Baek Jong-bun again, and we're going to start this off. Once again, Nathan over to Luengo, to Park Sang-hong, over to Kim Shin-jin. Kim Shin-jin with a shot from close range, and that wasn't very good. Lots of whistles of derision there from the hometown crowd, and I feel kind of bad for him. A little bit of bad luck there. Pronk now with it. Back to Alexa. Alexa forward to Luengo, to So Jae-min. There's Kim Shin-jin. Here you go. Kim Shin-jin easily puts that one in. Boy, I don't know what happened to their keeper. He didn't even try. So it's 1-0 for Seoul here early on, not even 10 minutes into the match. And this is looking a little bit more like it. This is what we were expecting to see all along. 1-0 after this very, very good run. And that's what we want to see. That's what we wanted to have happen the entire time. Kim Shin-jin puts that one in so easily and makes it look like there's nothing to it. 1-0 the score. And let's see if we can build up off of where we left off there. Here's another throw-in, and well, let's see what we can do. It's cradled by Baek Jong-bum, and that's going to be the end of that one. He throws over to Alexa on the side, down to Pronk. Pronk brings it up to Park Sang-hong, back to Pronk, over to Alexa. Alexa plays with it over to Nathan. Nathan playing in the back, kind of unusual position for him. Park Sang-hong, back to Nathan, over to Alexa again. Back to Nathan, over to Park Sang-hong, to Luengo, over to So Jae-min, over to Simtae with this. We're looking for a little bit of a run here forward, and I think we've got it. And there's Pafundi on the other side. And that's taken away from him as soon as he makes the shot. So it was an idea. Simtae gets beaten on this one, and now we got to make sure we don't give something up here on the other end, and we do. It's Ninkovic who comes over all the way with a good run, and he scores the equalizer, and so it's now 1-1. That was a really good run. That was pretty impressive, and so there's not too much I can do about that one other than sort of tip my hat and say, well, we'll have to work hard on getting them next time. It was Nathan, I believe, who was beaten. Yes, Nathan was beaten on that, and he didn't really stand much of a chance. He was just overmatched in terms of pace. And so we'll see what we can do here. We have a whole bunch of guys back here trying to defend this throw, and we do a pretty good job of it, actually. Looking for Pafundi, can't quite find him. And so let's see what we can do here to reset. Even if we lose this match, and I wouldn't be surprised if we did, you've got to be happy with at least how we've looked here in the first half. And of course, we have a lot of match left. Nobody gets in front of Williams, and they do at the very end. Pafundi ends up knocking that one away. That was pretty worrying there from our defense in the back. I'm not quite sure what that was supposed to be. And Nathan having kind of a poor match here. So Jae-min here with the corner, looking near post, over to Simtae, ends up back with So Jae-min. You can do that, apparently. So Jae-min with this again, over to Simtae. Simtae forward to Kim Shin-jin, who almost gets a second, and that one forces Margos into a really, really good save. And so this wasn't such a bad idea, I suppose, and it was Simtae again with this really good cross, and Kim Shin-jin just wasn't able to quite get enough behind that header. And so, I mean, we're looking okay. This isn't so bad. Like I said, this is looking better than the first couple of matches did this season. And I kind of like the trajectory that we're on, despite the fact that we have a number of injuries and we keep shuttling new players in and out of this club. This is not looking so bad. Simtae trying to knock that one forward for somebody. I think it was Kim Shin-jin up there. No, So Jae-min is who he was looking for and couldn't quite find him. This ends up back with Traore, and we're going to have to defend again and try to get this ball off of them. And we don't do a particularly good job of it here. We've given Williams all sorts of space. And it's Cleor. It ends up back with Williams, but Pafundi ends up intercepting here. He does a good job reading that. Over to Kim Shin-jin to Luengo. Luengo's got two men forward, finds Kim Shin-jin. And I'm not sure if that was a pass or a cross. It doesn't really matter as that was knocked out for a corner. And let's see if So Jamie can find anybody here. Looking near post. Nothing quite happening there. That was a pretty poorly placed corner. Nathan now with it over to Park Sang-hong, over to Pronk. Pronk coming up the other side, and that didn't go very far. Luengo ends up winning it over to Pafundi. Ends up with Park Sang-hong. Boy, he just barely missed that one. That one would put us ahead. That one just didn't quite happen, unfortunately, but that looked pretty good coming through that way. So we'll see what we can do here. We do deserve to win this one. We have worked hard. I'm going to take a quick look here and see what we can do. I'm trying to think. Luengo, the new guy, and Park Sang-hong are doing pretty well. Nathan is the one who's kind of having a poor match. So we're going to put, I think, Nikoka on for him. And the other one here, Pafundi's not really done very much. And so we'll put Akame on. We'll get that speed. So we'll see what happens after that. Try not to make too many substitutions because we've been burned by those injuries. Oh, man, how we have been burned by those injuries as of late. So just to make a couple of substitutions, hope that we can get a little bit of good luck and maybe win another one out and get a couple more points out of this one. I mean, again, 1 point is not the end of the world, but boy, it sure would be nice to get a full 3 points out of this today. That would be great. Simte heads that back over to Baek Jong-boom, who falls on it. Wise decision. Picks it up, looks around a little bit. Looking forward, looking at that side, throws over to Alexa. Good decision. Up to Pronk. Pronk takes this forward, left side. Pronk. Back to Alexa. Over to Nikoka. Nikoka knocks this forward for Akame. That's that speed I was talking about. Here comes Akame. And, boy, it's popped up, and Margush is able to get to that. And that was a pretty good idea. Pretty good attempt. So Jamie's going to go far post with this corner and ends up not going anywhere. But Nikoka heads it back in and then wins this in the back over to So Jamie again, who's onside. And he takes a shot from there. That's not exactly the best decision in the world, kind of waiting for somebody to make a run. And everybody was just sort of standing around trying to look to see what he was going to do. So didn't work out as well as we had hoped. We're about 60 minutes into this match. The nice thing is that we haven't given up another goal. The bad thing is that we haven't scored another one ourselves, so we really, really need to figure something out. Alexa wins this in the back over to Lee Seong, back to Baek Jong-boom, back to Alexa. Off to Pronk, and we're going to go up the left side here. Pronk moves forward over to Park Sang-hong to Alexa, and then back to Nikoka. Nikoka takes us up towards the center over to Kim Shin-jin, and he has the ball just taken away from him. I mean, that was way, way too easily. Kim Shin-jin looks like he was hoping not to have a touch on it at all, and Akame has fouled the man in the penalty box, and there's no call. I'm kind of surprised that there was no call on that one. That's one of those highlights where you're sure that a penalty's coming. Baek Jong-boom with a good save at the very end of this, and I think we may need to make a couple more changes. But I'm pretty surprised that there was no penalty called there because I'm pretty sure that that's what that was supposed to be. We'll take 1-2 of these guys off and see what we can do here moving forward. So about 30 minutes into it, we only have one substitution left, and so we got to hope that the injury bugs don't start hurting us again. Nikoka goes back to win this over to Leohoy, and unfortunately he doesn't do a very good job of keeping hold of that, and Milanovic is just wide open. We give him as much space as he wants. Fortunately, his shot is offline. It's Lee Seong here on the right side. Lee Seong, kind of a poor first touch over to Akame, who ends up winning this in the end. Akame has that speed over to Leohoy, and it's a pretty poor job by Leohoy trying to get on top of that one, so that doesn't work out the way that we wanted. And I tell you, the wing-back position is really, really hard to find a good player there. Baek Jong-boom over to Alexa now, who launches his forward looking for So Jae-min. Can't find him, but it's Park Sang-hong over to Kim Shin-jin. Forward to So Jae-min. So Jae-min takes a shot, and it's a wild shot, but that was, I think that was deflected. And so we have another corner here. About 20 minutes here left of this match, and let's see what we can do. It's forward, looking far post, and it's headed back over for a throw, and that's the end of the highlight. So not much comes of that, and we have to worry again about playing defense, and this is not looking so good for us, I'll tell you that. We need to get the ball off of them, and Leohoy has fouled his man in the penalty area. They're going to call that, and that's pretty clearly a penalty. I don't see really why there's even a need to take a look at VAR for this. I mean, they're going to call this, and it is awarded. that was pretty clear, and it was Leroy's mistake. So he comes on in from being on the bench and ends up making a couple of mistakes here, and Baek Jong-boom is able to save it. So it leads to a corner. That's the second penalty that this guy saved here so far in this save. That's a little bit unusual. He may be a better keeper than I thought, and here he is grabbing this one out of the air. So, okay, well, I mean, if they're not going to score it, we'll take it. I'm surprised that he doesn't score this. And so it ends up working, and we'll take it. We'll go with it. Just a couple of minutes left, and we're hoping that we can get through this one without seeing any more damage done. 1-1 would compliment us, I'll tell you that. This is forward for Kim Shin-jin. He can't quite get to it, and we just are having a hard time getting a hold of the ball here. They look faster and stronger than us. It's Yengi with it, and Baek Jong-boom saves it kind of. It goes off of sort of the side of his ankle, ends up behind him, and there's nobody there, fortunately, to pick that one up. That was a little bit scary. Here's So Jae-min with a free kick. Nothing comes out of it. Leroy with it. Leroy back to Alexa. Alexa all the way back to Luengo, over to Alexa again to Nikoka. Trying to set up this pass regime over to Kim Shin-jin, back to So Jae-min, and that is deflected away, I should say, for another corner. We're going to go near post this time. Let's see if anything comes of it. So Jae-min to take it. Not much of a corner taker, but it's the best that we have. And there it goes, and ends up being headed back for another corner. So as long as we're not giving up some sort of like counter-attack goal or other type of ridiculousness, I think we're okay. So Jae-min does it again. He's going to take his sweet time here and think about it a little bit. There we go, another near post corner, and it's Nikuko who ends up with this in the end over to Park Sang-hong. To Leroy, and that's the end of that highlight. Well, as long as we hold on to the ball, I mean, I'm perfectly fine with it. Nikoko with this, lumping it forward for So Jae-min, and can't quite find him, but Abruzese ends up winning it. Abruzese, I think it is, and he knocks it forward to nobody in particular. It doesn't really matter. That's the full-time whistle. So we've come away with another draw, 1.44 XG, which shows that we can play up there with them. All of the scoring was in the first half of this match. We had 57% of the possession, too. So we're making progress. We're doing a little bit better. Again, this is not a season in which we're going to end up winning the league, but I will take this, absolutely, a 1-1 draw with a team that I think is much better than us. Talk to you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.